Success looks different for everyone. Succeed on your terms at University of Maryland Global Campus, an accredited university with no-cost digital resources and lifetime career services. You're not waiting to win. You're ready to succeed again. Learn more at umgc.edu.
And there it is, the book club to end all book clubs. All in a beautiful backyard setup you created for an amazing price at Marshall's. Anything can happen with a patio like that.
It's like time stood still.
Monday on ET, Julia Roberts, Tom Cruise, George Clooney.
Happening now.
A San Antonio man is fighting to have his 1991 conviction overturned. Coming up, how this all relates to the satanic panic craze of the 80s and 90s.
And the first steps for the youngest among us to finally get their COVID-19 vaccine. Just how soon shots could start going into the arms of children under the age of 5. Next.
The heat doesn't let up this weekend, but you may be able to see 5 planets in the sky at once. We'll tell you when and where. The news at 5 starts right now.
And first at 5, day 3 of hearings in the Uvalde investigation wrapping up this afternoon. It comes with a big update from Republican State Representative Dustin Burrows. Burrows announcing today the police in Uvalde agreed on Friday to speak to the State House committee investigating the May 24 shooting at Robb Elementary.
Burrows saying the agreement took a little longer than initially expected. Today's hearing was another closed-door meeting. So far, the House committee has interviewed more than a dozen witnesses, including state police, school staff, and school district police. As the U.S. Senate struggles to agree on gun safety legislation, yet another act of violence rocks a community.
3 people are dead following a shooting at a church outside of Birmingham, Alabama. Chris Wynn has the latest on the investigation and what Congress is hoping to accomplish before the July 4th recess.
Outside Birmingham, Alabama, a deadly shooting adds to the gun violence plaguing the country, this time in a house of worship.
Vestavia Hills is a close-knit, resilient, loving community.
Police say the shooting happened during a potluck at St. Stephen's Episcopal Church Thursday, leaving 3 elderly people dead. The 71-year-old suspect occasionally attended the church and is now in custody, according to police.
Another attendee at the event subdued the suspect and held him down until law enforcement arrived.
This follows recent deadly mass shootings at a California church, a Texas elementary school, and a New York supermarket. On Capitol Hill, Senate negotiators are scrambling to hammer out legislative text for a bipartisan gun deal.
We cannot go back home over the course of July 4th and tell people that once again we let politics get in the way of getting something done.
Key sticking issues include funding for state red flag laws and denying firearms to unmarried partners convicted of domestic violence.
We got to settle these issues or else we're talking about jeopardizing our ability to deal with legislation next week.
Meanwhile, in Alabama,
there are public safety concerns that we have to take into account.
An urgent call from some as this community tries to heal.
I think it just goes to show that no community is immune from this kind of gun violence.
In Washington, I'm Chris Wynn reporting.
An update now on the search for this man. The Kerr County Sheriff's Office says John Thomas Martin IV has been arrested. He was wanted for making a terroristic threat regarding a discount store in Kerrville related to an incident back on June 10th. Martin was arrested in Henderson County and is awaiting transportation to the Kerr County Jail.
Convicted and sentenced for a crime he was accused of committing in 1991. 30 years later, the case is reemerging in hopes of getting Melvin Quinney exonerated.
It's an effort by the Texas Innocence Project. And as Erica Hernandez explains, Quinney's son is testifying once again, but this time with an entirely different story.
Now in his 70s, Melvin Quinney is looking to have his 1991 conviction exonerated. The Texas Innocence Project has taken up his case. In 1991, John Parker testified that his father had sexually abused him as a part of a satanic ritual. The entire story, Parker says, was forced on him by his mother and other adults in his life, ranging from therapists, church friends, investigators, and attorneys.
There seemed to be a consistent, if you will,
agenda to convince you that you'd been satanically and sexually abused?
Yeah, and at some point, I don't know when it was, I just started buying into it.
It wasn't until he was an adult that he started to realize everything was a lie. He reconnected with his father in 2014, who had been out of jail since 1999. Parker and his siblings reached out to the Texas Innocence Project to help get their father exonerated.
Has your father ever sexually abused?
No, he hasn't.
Are all of those allegations completely false?
Yes, they are.
What happens next? Judge Andrew Carruthers will send his recommendation on the case to the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals, and they will rule in or not in favor of exoneration. If they rule in favor, it goes back to the trial court to officially order the exoneration of Queenie's 1991 conviction. That whole process can be time-consuming and take as long as a year or more. Melvin's case is just one of several from the 80s and 90s where people were being wrongfully convicted and accused of being in satanic cults. Coming up at 6, we'll take a look at what satanic panic is and how it affected cases here in Texas. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
9 men arrested in Kerr County following a multi-agency prostitution sting. 4 of the suspects are from San Antonio. They're Stephen Gold, James Nunn, Nicholas Cuellar, and Christopher Carter. The other 5 suspects are from Kerrville, Lavernia, Fredericksburg, and Kingsland. The Kerr County Sheriff's Office says the men sought prostitution from either adults or minors and attempted to arrange meetups while communicating with officers. Charges range from solicitation of prostitution to online solicitation of a minor, among other things. They're all booked into the Kerr County Jail.
Trouble unfolding both inside and outside of a San Antonio strip club last night. This happening at the Diamonds Show Club on Loop 410 near Perrin Beitel. 2 officers went there to arrest a man wanted on an outstanding warrant, who also violated a protective order. But he put up a fight, so they tased him. Meanwhile, outside of the bar, the officers learned of another man believed to be drunk hitting one of their cars. Both men were arrested. The 2 officers suffered minor injuries.
At his State of Transit address today, the head of VIA gave an update on one of VIA's biggest projects. Advanced Rapid Transit, or ART, is essentially a bus train typically running in dedicated lanes, and it's essential to VIA's plans for the future. VIA has already identified the funding it needs for a north-south line running from the airport to around Mission Concepcion, including a federal grant covering nearly half the cost. And while VIA is optimistic about the federal government chipping in for an east-west corridor too, it still has to find a local funding match.
As we say, we look under every rock and then we look under whatever's under every rock. Now, we have some ideas, but I don't want to explore those ideas publicly until the people that would have to make that decision were made aware of it.
Still, they say VIA is moving into the design for the east-west corridor. If they can find funding, it could be open in 2029 or 2030. He expects the north-south line to be open in 2027.
It is a double holiday weekend between Juneteenth and Father's Day, and there are a lot of cars on the road today. This is at I-10 at Probant. You can see traffic is moving along, but there is a lot of congestion out there, so be careful.
And we stayed below 100 degrees today. Again, we got up to 98. That's the high so far. It's still plenty hot. And the heat index is pushing that feels like number up above 100 in several spots. So let's take a look at some of the weather watcher temperatures. 100 up there in Shirt, so we did hit triple digits there. 97 in Seguin, 99 Floresville, 99 Santa Maria, and 101 out in Del Rio. 98 Utopia, 96, that's the latest up there at Canyon Lake, and Helen reporting 97 over in Seguin. 100 down there in Lavernia. So we know, yes, the heat is here to stay. A few changes in the forecast. Things will actually get a little bit warmer as we head towards Father's Day. And we're going to talk about how you can see 5 planets in the sky coming up as long as the clouds cooperate. We'll have more on that coming up in just a bit.
Thank you, Justin. Those record-breaking temperatures over the last couple of weeks, they're really no joke, especially if you're a young kid. Health experts say that parents need to make sure that their kids are protected while spending time outdoors, and that includes drinking enough water, wearing sunscreen, and also knowing what the signs of heat exhaustion look like and the difference of heat stroke.
With heat exhaustion, we're going to see things like excessive sweating, thirsty, dizziness. They might have some nausea or be tired or weak. Certainly, if you start to see those things, you want to bring them inside, cool them down, maybe decrease how many layers of clothing they have on.
But if the symptoms don't improve or your child throws up, you need to call the doctor's office. Heat stroke, on the other hand, is more serious than that. The signs of a heat stroke include confusion and dizziness. And if a child becomes unconscious, you need to call 911 right away. Other things to do for someone suffering a heat stroke: move them to a cooler area, loosen their clothes. You can also try putting cool, wet cloths on them to try to cool them down.
San Antonio Mayor Ron Nirenberg donating blood today while also hitting a personal record, 1 gallon of donated blood. And he's hoping that will encourage more to donate. The South Texas Blood and Tissue Center says summer is one of the slowest times of the year because more people are on vacation and there are fewer school blood drives.
It's easy to do. You just schedule an appointment or attend one of the mobile clinics. It doesn't take much time at all, and you can go about your day. They give you snacks. But it's also one of the best things that you can do.
The South Texas Blood and Tissue Center says as of today, there is a 4-day supply of blood inventory. They are in need of all types of blood, but especially type O. If you would like to donate, all you have to do is go to southtexasblood.org.
Now to the latest on the coronavirus pandemic. The FDA signing off on vaccines for American children as young as 6 months old. Now it's on to the CDC for the final green light. Shots could go into arms next week if they're authorized for emergency use. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
A sigh of relief for many parents across the country, with the CDC expected to sign off on vaccines for children between 6 months and 5 years old. Emergency use authorization for the Pfizer and Moderna shots for that age group could come on Saturday, and shots could go into arms next week. The FDA signing off this week, saying both vaccines appear safe and effective despite mild symptoms like irritability and fever.
We know that many parents, caregivers, and clinicians have been anxiously awaiting today's authorizations.
Pfizer's vaccine is a 3-shot series, 1/10 the size of the adult dose. The company's early data showed it was 80% effective in preventing symptomatic COVID. Moderna's vaccine, only 2 shots, is 1/4 of the size of the adult dose. Early data showed it was about 40 to 50% effective at preventing mild infections. Both generated antibody levels against the Omicron variant similar to those seen in adults.
Whatever vaccine your healthcare provider, pediatrician has, that's what I would give my child.
Moderna says it plans to launch a study in the fall in babies as young as 3 months old. They'll work on finding the right dosage for infants to see what's safest and the most effective. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Gas prices slightly down just in time for the weekend. And if they aren't steering you away from the road, we do have some tips on how you can save some cash. Plus, the Texas destination that's not too far and it won't cost too much to get to. That story next.
Stefania Jimenez here in the KSAT 12 newsroom with a look at what you can expect on the news at 6. Kidney disease is called the silent killer, and if you don't have a screening, it's hard to detect. Unfortunately, that disease affects so many people in San Antonio. RJ Marquez sits down with a Texas-born actor and comedian to discuss his battle with kidney disease, and he shares his message about early detection. Now, when it comes to the heat, oh boy, the heat, there is no sign of relief. Farmers, yeah, they're definitely feeling it. Extreme drought conditions are making it even harder for them to stay afloat with production. Alicia Barrera takes us to Fredericksburg, where farmers are doing everything they can to stay open, while others have had to shut down. So the land above the longest cave in Texas is under a conservation easement, so that means it's going to be protected for decades to come. And tonight at 6, you are getting a special treat because our meteorologists are taking you along their rare opportunity to go inside of that cave, which is filled with water that's headed for the aquifer. You can catch their incredible adventure tonight at 6.
You haven't heard this in a while. Gas prices are down, really. But don't get too excited because it's only 2 cents in the past week, and it's still in record territory.
So just how much is that family road trip going to cost you, and how can you save? 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz has what you need to know before hitting the road.
Summer road tripping. Getting there is half the fun. Gassing up, not so much.
It's a lot. It's too much.
The average price here is now $4.65 a gallon. So no big road trips for Langston Clark right now.
I might go to Austin or something like that, but that's as far as I'm going to go, so it's bad.
And it's even worse in other parts of the country. So we wondered exactly how much would it cost to load up the family SUV and head out on a road trip. Using AAA's calculator, we found if your SUV gets 25 miles to the gallon, that round trip to Disney World will cost $432 in gas. To the Grand Canyon and back, $449. And South Padre Island, $57. So how can you save on the road? Use apps like Gas Buddy or Waze to find the cheapest gas near you.
While many gas stations will offer you a lower price if you pay in cash, a credit card with cashback rewards may actually be a better deal, especially if you're paying more for gas than you normally would in a month.
Pack as light as you can, too.
And you can make your car more fuel efficient by reducing aerodynamic drag. You can take off your bike rack and your roof rack if you're not using them. And don't hate me, but if you just stick to the speed limit, you'll also save on fuel.
Tests show that cruising at 75 miles an hour instead of 65 can cost you 6 miles per gallon or more. As for Clark, that short round trip to Austin right now will cost him $28 just for the gas. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
It's just not fair. There's so many places to go, people to see, and it's a holiday weekend, Justin.
2 holidays.
Yes.
Double the fun.
Exactly. And it's going to be so hot. So folks that have outdoor plans, I mean, we're used to it by now, right? We know about this triple-digit heat, but it is going to stick around through the weekend. I want to talk about a little something special here, though. You may be able to see 5 planets in the sky coming up, at least to the end of June. Those planets would be Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Eventually you'll be able to see the moon mixed in there too towards the end of the month. If you want to see it, you got to go out right before dawn. You're looking to the east and southeast sky, and it's kind of in an arc here. And there you go, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Check it out. Hopefully the clouds will cooperate, and I think they will next couple of days. We're not expecting a lot of morning clouds. Pretty cool thing there. As we go outside for you and look at what's going on with the visible satellite, we've got some clouds working through, none of which are bubbling up into showers and storms, unfortunately. That's what we would hope for. There's been a couple closer to the coast, but nothing here around San Antonio. I can't rule out a stray shower tonight, but chances are we're not seeing anything. 95 Bulverde, 96 in New Braunfels. It's 96 in Randolph, 99 right now in Castroville. A few hundreds on the map, places like Pleasanton at 101. And as we look at the time lapse today, it was a little hazy this morning. We're losing some of that haze as that dust moves out. And then we've got partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies right now. 95 at the airport, east-southeasterly winds at 10 and it's gusting to 17. Dew points have been up a little bit today, and that's one of the reasons we didn't see the temperatures get up to 100, I think. A little added humidity, but the heat index makes up for that. It feels like it's above 100 in several spots. 100 the heat index in Bulverde, same story in Rio Medina, and it feels like 104 in Pleasanton. Dew points start to rise again tonight. We jump back into the 70s by tomorrow morning, and then the dew points will still be fairly elevated tomorrow, so I think we still deal with a heat index tomorrow. You see the showers and storms across East Texas. Some of that energy tries to work in our direction again tomorrow, but I'm just not too hopeful for any rain. 10% chance this evening, same story tomorrow. And if you're lucky enough to see one of those stray showers, it's not going to amount to much at all. We need the rain. You look at the rain total for the year, 4.58. We're nearly 10 inches now below average for rainfall. That is not a good situation as we officially head into summer. A lot of times we'll look to the tropics to get some rain. There is some activity down here. Hurricane Blas in the Pacific and Tropical Storm Celia. But this system here in the Caribbean, which we've been watching for several days now, still is extremely disorganized. And all the moisture associated with this is going to stay well to our south, and it likely won't even develop, just a 10% chance of development there. 94 degrees, 8 o'clock. We'll call it mostly clear as we head into this evening. Temperatures in the 80s. It'll be slow to cool down. Still some breezy winds out there, too. We drop into the mid-70s by tomorrow morning. And we keep this trend going. 101 on Sunday after 99 tomorrow. 101 Monday, 100 Tuesday, and more triple digits as we go into the middle part of next week. Once something changes, and we hope it does sometime, we'll let you know, guys.
All right. Ditto, 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 ditto. We were hoping, Greg and I were hoping for a different outcome.
Well, we wanted to see a Game 7, but in Boston's case, you commit 22 turnovers. You're not going to be able to beat the Golden State Warriors. When we come back, we'll show you how the Warriors win it again, their 4th time in the last 8 years, and how about a Finals MVP for Steph Curry coming up. The Golden State Warriors are NBA champions for the 4th time in the last 8 years after they were able to close out the Boston Celtics in Game 6 last night in Boston. The Celtics would start off strong at home as Jason Tatum drives them, pulls back, and pops the jumper at the elbow, and the Celtics lead by 12 early. Draymond Green in the corner for his first three-pointer of the series, and Jordan Poole bangs home this three, and the Warriors close the quarter on an 11-0 run to go from being down 12 to up 5. That Warriors run would continue in the second quarter off one of Boston's 22 turnovers on the night. Jaylen Brown to Andrew Wiggins, who throws down the jam. Now it's a 21-0 run, the longest scoring run of the finals in 50 years. Warriors would lead 54-39 at the half. The Warriors would keep up the charge in the third quarter by hitting the first 6 shots, and they were all three-pointers. Steph Curry would account for 3 of those 6 to give the Warriors their largest lead of the game. At that point, 22. The Celtics are not dead yet. Al Horford puts it up, plus the foul as part of a 16-4 run for Boston. It's a 10-point Warriors lead. Going into the 4th, that lead would dwindle to 8 when Jaylen Brown hits this 3. But there is a reason why Steph Curry won his first NBA Finals MVP. He went 6 of 10 from downtown and finished with 34 points, take on the Bill Russell Trophy in the 103-90 victory to win the 2022 NBA Finals 4-2.
Steph, what does just this mean to you to finally be a Finals MVP? Everything.
Forget that. We champs. Why are you starting with that question? We got 4 championships. You know, like, God is great. The ability to be on the stage and play with amazing teammates against a great Boston Celtics team that, you know, gave us everything to try to get to the finish line. This one hits different for sure. Just knowing what the last 3 years have meant, what it's been like. From injuries to, you know, changing of the guard and the rosters, Wiggs coming through, our young guys carrying the belief that we could get back to the stage and win, even if it didn't make sense to anybody when we said it. All that stuff matters, and now we got 4 championships. You know, me, Dre, Clay, and Andre. Finally got that bad boy. It's special.
Sure is. Congratulations to the Warriors. Congratulations to Steph. And coming up at 6 o'clock, Jerry Jones' reaction to his coach getting fined again.
Back-to-back seasons.
Yep. Got you coming up at 6.
All right. Well, we'll be right back after a short break.
We're sitting at 95 degrees right now. Temperatures will slowly cool down this evening. We're back to 99 tomorrow, 101 on Sunday. It's going to be a hot day. Some humidity over the weekend, too, so think about heat indices. And then next week, well, it's more of the same. We're stuck at 100 just about each and every day, mostly sunny skies. One of these days will break this pattern, guys.
Thanks, Justin. And thank you for watching the News at 5 with us.
World News is next.